Welcome to the Draft Board Hockey Show. My name is Mark, and as always, I'm joined by my boy Link. How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. This is finals week for me, and then it's all just World Juniors and just scouting reports, and I'm so excited. It's great. I love this time of year. As much as I love fall, as much as I love the October and November months, December's where it really all ties together. Because in Mark, did you know this? 18 short days. The World Juniors begins. The best time of the year, arguably. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to not only watch World Juniors, but watch them live in the great state of Minnesota.
You are a lucky person. Yes, good for you. Good for you. It's going to be a fun. Actually, I'm going to catch a exhibition game, Canada-Sweden in London, Ontario, before they head over to Minnesota. So I'm looking forward to that because Canada just released their preliminary list, and here it is. For those of you who are listening, I will start off with our forwards, and then I'll let Link take care of the defensemen and the goaltenders. But we got Gavin McKenna, Michael Misa, Porter Martone, Tej Aguinla, Jet Luchenko, Michael Hage, Cole Reshny, Cole Baudouin, Liam Greentree, Caleb Desnoyers, Brady Martin, Carter Bear, Jake O'Brien, Braden Coots, and finishing off, Sam O'Reilly. Wowza, what say you about that forward?
This is genuinely the most stacked forward core since 2022. I really, and that's a great team that was loaned Dylan Genther and Shane Wright as well, if you remember.
Yes.
So this is Canada's tournament to lose, and we haven't even looked at the defensemen yet. You have a really stacked core of all first rounders, I believe, in the forward core. Yeah, there's not a single player here who wasn't selected in the first round.
They're all first round. Yeah.
Most of these players, I will also surmise, were picked in the top 10. Unless that's not true. If it's not true, then it's
there's a few outside the top 10, but
there's a few, but
not too many. Let's put it that way.
This is like the stacked Canadian teams of old. So I will say that.
I'm happy that they actually finally went with like just a fully loaded run and gun. You know what I mean? Team. Like you can't complain about the selection of this group. And don't forget though, we could have had Macklin Celebrini, Matthew Schaefer, Berkeley Catton, and Ben Kindle. Wow. They could have been, and you know what? There's a couple snubs actually. Justin Carbonneau, your boy. Justin Carbonneau's not there.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. And when I talk about this a lot with the USA roster, there are some guys who make other talents kind of like, for example, like Justin Carbonneau would just be like extra depth that, again, that they wouldn't need at this point. You have guys in the team that can shoot the lights out, namely Tej Aguinla, Porter Martone, as we've been seeing as well. Michael Misa, he had 50. he had a ton of goals last year. There are guys who can shoot on this roster, right? Notably guys that I would have taken over Justin Carbonneau, even though I was a big fan of him. You would have taken over Justin Carbonneau because, I don't know, I made you a big fan of him. But no, look, this team really is stacked from top to bottom. Looking here right now, it's really hard for me to kind of see Michael Misa as not automatically the best player in this tournament. I don't care what anyone says. That if that is an actual line, him, Misa, McKenna, and Martone, I don't see how they aren't the greatest 5-on-5 line pairing in the World Juniors since the McDavid days. That's how seriously good this team can be with how just dominant they've set themselves up to be. This is Canada's tournament to lose, without a doubt. We haven't talked about the defense yet.
Yeah. So you know what? And the other thing is that so they went with 27 players, and they have to drop 3 more. So they're going to go in with 24, they said.
Yeah.
So they're going to drop 1 forward, 1 defenseman, and 1 goaltender. Now, okay, so let's name the D in the goaltending, and then we're going to see. Let me know. We're going to go through each player and select who we think they should drop. Combos, whatever the case may be. All right, go ahead, Link. Fire away.
So on defense, just me, I feel personally just amazing and vindicated for some of the guys that they brought on defense. I think it's a little bit weaker than some people are making it out to be, but it's still incredibly strong. Kayshawn Aitchison, the big bad hitting and goal scoring machine. Love that he's on a top pairing projected with Zane Perrick. You've got Harrison Brunick, who's had a couple good. He's had a couple good stints with the Pittsburgh Penguins this year. I think he's honestly way better than people had made him out to be. He's paired up with Cameron Reed, Keaton Verhoff, and Ben Danford. That just sounds like a perfect line pairing. Maybe Verhoff and McKenzie will get some reps as well. Ethan McKenzie also is an undrafted defenseman. They love their grit in some places in the Canadian lineups, and sometimes it works. Sometimes you get some pretty solid stories, and then some other times you get Owen Beck. So it's a mismatch there. Then you got Jackson Smith and Carson Carrolls, and I have to say I love having Carson Carrolls as just like a buff, as like kind of a safety valve here. There's just everything you want on this defense. Theoretically, I'm a big fan of it. It could have been even better. So now let's just look at the goaltenders too, as well, just because why not? Carter George, Jack Ivankovic, and Joshua Ravensbergen. Of the three, I'm not even sure who to start. I think maybe George or Ravensbergen, but Ivankovic has been good for Michigan this year. This is a really, really solid team. We can outline the obvious outliers who we think we could draw from this team. I will say the forward core is obviously the most shining aspect here, but the defense is very solid. The goaltending is very solid. I don't know, Mark. I look, if you guys look, if you even lose a game, I'm going to be clowning you. I'm going to call you personally, clown you, and then we're going to get on this podcast. And I'm going to
oh my God, yeah,
Mark, you were wrong. You were come on. What's going on here?
Anything but gold would be complete failure for this team. When you look at
Absolutely.
This team on paper, it is an absolute dominant force. Now, like you said, you got McKenna, Misa, Martone that they list. Now, I think TSN kind of suggested the lines. Next line, look at Tija Ginla, Jet Luchenko, and Michael Hage. Like, wow. I think that's
a line.
I'm sure I'm looking at the lines here. Who's the odd man out? Cole Reshny, Cole Baudouin, and Liam Greencheese. The next line, Caleb Desnoyers, Martin, and Bear next, and then O'Brien, Coots, and O'Reilly. Like, who's the odd man out or two odd man out here? Because I'm assuming they're going to go with three goalies. So you got to drop three players, two forwards, one D, or you know what I mean?
I have in the forward core, I have two guys that I think could be odd men out, and I know when I say this player's name, I know you might come at me. The Bunker Boys might come at me. There might be some other people coming at me. But I really think the two of the odd men out here could be one, Sam O'Reilly, even though he had an incredible year last year and still playing very well for that London Knights team, or Carter Bear. Personally, I think when you look at this lineup, everyone else has showed significant strides this year. Is a player from the 2024 draft like Baudouin or Greentree, who's playing out of his mind, Michael Hage, who's also playing out of his mind, and stuff like that. Guys who have already played NHL games, Brady Martin. There was also for Braden Coots also had a stint, Michael Misa, and everyone else for me, it just seems like they're way, way above in talent. Carter Bear, he will get his flowers for sure for a World Juniors team. I just don't think it's this year. Sam O'Reilly, again, very, very talented two-way guy. I think he may be a little bit of added value after Cole Baudouin, Porter Martone, Brady Martin, Jet Luchenko, TJ Ginla to an extent, Caleb Desnoyers to an extent. Those two guys just seem like added goods to me. They can keep them around and then kick out a guy like Jake O'Brien and leave all of Canada like, wait, we could have used that passing performance against the USA. But we'll see. I think those are the two odd men out for the forward core. Do you differ from me at all?
It's tough because you got to look at who's going to be top six, who's going to be middle six, right? So, I mean, if you keep it like this, you got McKenna, Misa, Martone, Ginla, Luchenko, Hage. I don't know necessarily. I mean, you might move someone up like Jake O'Brien could probably play on the second line. And then you move someone like Luchenko, maybe. This is so tough. Tija Ginla on the third line. I mean, I don't know what to do in this situation. It's actually really tough. Odd man out, I say maybe Cole Reshny, unfortunately. I think
that's also someone I considered. Yeah. Even though I will say give him his flowers. I've seen him play. Ooh.
Oh no! Listen.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Cole Reshny fan, huge. But I'm just looking at Team Canada, and like you said, Jake O'Brien might be the odd man out, which I don't understand either because he's absolutely blowtorching the OHL right now. So, how do you keep up that passing, that vision that, you need, especially like say on a second PP or something like that? Like, oh, I don't know. It's tough.
Look, we'll see. Again, it's a whole thing where like you have to kind of manage it and balance it the best way you can. Again, I think there's going to be things that'll surprise you. There might even be another injury this year, so watch out for that. You always have to be aware of that. So the extra man that you bring, it has to be someone who can play anywhere in the lineup. And
Yeah.
we'll see when you're stacking up against a particularly strong Swedish team. I would argue a still very strong American forward and defensive core. A Czech team, which might be the best Czech team we've seen in years. A really strong Slovakian team, a Finnish team, which is always young and very hungry. This is a very strong tournament. So Canada bringing their strongest team in 3 years, they're still going to be challenged. So they need to bring their best players, in my opinion. And it doesn't matter where they're at in the lineup. You have to always be prepared to bring your guys. The last 2 years were an embarrassment.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest statements from last year, particularly when they finished fifth or sixth, I don't even remember where they placed.
I don't want to
There
talk
was a
about
point in the tournament where nobody on the roster had more than 1 point. There was a point like in the tournament. I don't know if it's finished like that, but it was ridiculous. This team lost to Latvia. Let's not forget that. So this is a revenge tournament for them. So I think they would be fools if they didn't bring all their best players. But then again, this is a significantly better lineup than they had last year. So what do I know? But
And
yeah,
don't
let's
forget who we got
Yeah.
at the helm. Mr. Hunter coaching. That is a big, big addition. Like, people don't realize that, when you have that coaching pedigree that Hunter does, it is going to make a world of difference. And especially because, he's in the OHL and stuff like that. And if you look at the list, a lot of kids from the OHL or who played in the OHL. So I think that it's going to be, they understand the systems and how he works. So I think that's going to help out a lot. I think this is a well coached, well on paper, unreal team. So now let's go to the defensemen. Look at the firepower. Come on. Zane Parekh, Kashan Aitchison, Cameron Reed. Just there. Oh my God. Oh, and then, you got Brunick, who's in the NHL already. Carls is looking really good.
Yeah.
Prince George. This is a stacked defensive team. Who's the odd man out here? This is a tougher one, I think, than the forward group.
On defense, it is absolutely a tougher one. I think Aitchison, Parekh, Brunick, and Danford are as good as locks at this point. Everyone else is can be subject to scrutiny. Keaton Verhoff, he's a very interesting case. I think they're hard pressed to leave him off. He's a very great goal scorer in position. Again, you're gonna need someone to be defensively reliable with him. Despite him being 6'4", you're gonna need someone like a Ben Danford to watch him a little bit. And I think that will do wonders for his game, especially in a very fast-paced tournament like this, where he's not getting kind of supported in the NCAA. Put him on the second or third pairing. I think Keaton Verhoff, you're not only just going to see the best performance out of him in this tournament, but you might see a more confident Keaton Verhoff going forward defensively. But if we're looking at the odd man out, I hate to come out and say, but maybe like a Cameron Reed or Jackson Smith, the two defensemen who were drafted last year. This is a size-based game. The Americans, the Finns, and the Swedes will try to beat you with their size. And Cameron Reed is an excellent defenseman. Tremendous. And he does get another shot at this tournament after this year. I think defense is really the strength of teams' defense will go very far. Especially with some of the goalies that teams are bringing are not proven yet. We have not had really great goalie classes over the past few years. I think the strongest goalie in this tournament by far is going to be Petteri Rimponen, and then the big three teams in Sweden, America, and Canada don't have the firepower that were brought in years past. Like, you look at guys like Trey Augustine, I'd say there's not a goalie like that this year.
Trey Augustine. Yeah.
So I think the strength of the defense will be very key. I would say the locks are everyone on defense, and everyone on defense except for Carson Carrolls, even though he's so young and he is going to be a factor on this team next year. Jackson Smith, because of it's up in the air, and then also Cameron Reed. They need good defense, and if they can't get it from any of those three, though, I think that'll be kind of off the roster. Seeing how last year went, I really don't see how they don't keep all 3 goalies, I think at least all 3 of them will get a chance. Just that's how I see it going from last year. If they need to cut 3, I think they'll cut 1 defenseman and 2 forwards, because they currently, and going back to the graphic, I might need to see. I think they have 5 lines of forwards. I think you can cut 2 forwards. I think rolling out a very strong defense is going to be the key to winning this tournament for Canada this year. So we'll see if they end up cutting 1 forward and 2 defensemen. That's also something that they can absolutely do, but they'll have to run the risk of being shorthanded on defense. Like last year, you would never anticipated that Matthew Schaefer was going to get injured in the first minute of game 2 and be gone for not only the rest of the tournament, but the rest of the year. So that's something they have to, again, plan for and be ready for. So look, best of luck to Canada on getting this right, because if they don't, oh man, Vancouver 2011 will happen once again. I don't know where it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. So
yeah, you know what? I think that it's going to be. They're the team that is the one to beat. Like, you know what? And the thing is that now the U.S. is in a tough division there with Sweden. So if you end up like in second place, at some point you're going to have to play Canada on the other side, right? Which is going to be a tough draw for the U.S. side, and especially being in Minnesota and whatnot. Yeah, I think this is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Let's just put it that way. Like, this is going to be unreal. Actually, the cuts is the first thing that I want to see too, and see who did it decide to keep. And it's going to be a lot of fun. As always, World Juniors is just so much fun. My brother and I were talking about it. We've been watching this for, over 30 years now, and older than you. So I've been watching it before you were even born. Let's put it that way. Like, exactly. And religiously every year. I watch it every year, December 26th. It's like tradition. I tell my wife, I say, listen, don't plan anything on December 26th. If you want to go shopping, Boxing Day sales, go ahead. But I am staying home all day watching hockey. No ends, ifs, or buts.
I'm the same way, honestly. Like, I think it was just when the last time the United States hosted is when I really locked into this tournament, and really just prospects in general. They had an outdoor game, and I went with Brady Tkachuk, just rolling everyone out in the outside. But no, this is awesome. This is what a lot of this stuff is built up for. This and the draft is the biggest times of our years. And I'm just so darn excited. I can't wait to preview the United States roster for not only my thing, but for McKean's as well. This is going to be, I really do mean this when I say this. This 2026 tournament is one of the strongest we've seen in a long, long time. Every team more or less is extremely, extremely competitive. I can see anyone medaling in the top 6 of this tournament. Like, Slovakia has an outside chance. That's how crazy this year is. Czechia is bringing one of the best teams they've ever fielded. The USA is still very strong after back-to-back World Junior Champions. Finland, Sweden, Canada, we already know how good they are. This is going to be must-watch television, and I'm going to be in person for all of it. So, you stink unless I see you there. So it's all good.
Well, you know what? And the other thing is too, is like that 1-game knockout, right? That's when you get into the medal rounds, the playoff rounds, it's a 1-game knockout. And if you have a bad game or a goalie has a bad game, then, it's tough. And we've seen it in years past where certain teams were supposed to advance and they got knocked out early, Canada the last couple of years, basically. So, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I think that this Canada team, though, I'm very excited to see them. Oh, and I can't wait to see the exhibition game against Sweden in a week and change. So, yes, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I think that's it for the Canadian roster. I'm excited for all the teams' rosters to come out. I guess we're going to do an official predictions video before either of us or before
absolutely.
I go.
Absolutely. That's going to be closer to that'll be
absolutely. Well, we got to get all the
week of.
Yeah, we're going to be doing, get all the
predictions, and so next week we'll talk about the other, like Sweden, Finland, Czechia, all that, and then we'll do the predictions the week after that. So can't wait. We're gonna do our brackets and who's gonna go where and what. Woo! It's gonna be a lot of fun. Can't wait. So excited, Link. So excited, buddy.
Oh my God, I'm pumped. It's me. This is the best time of the year, truly. So I'm not talking about Christmas. I'm talking about this tournament. So love it.
All right. I think that covers it for today's episode. And as always, we will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Cheers.